Having a hard time coming up with what you want your goals to be for 2011, a good place to start might be to look at what your priorities are, re examine them, and get them down on paper. I honestly didn't believe the power of writing things down until I actually did it, and it took me a good 6 months to really come to that conclusion. And I realized, I make to do lists all the time with what I need to do, but writing down my goals and priorities, they were always in my head and in my heart, and I thought that was good enough. But once I got it down on paper, I saw dramatic changes in my life. So my suggestion for you today, if you're thinking about you're not really quite sure what you want your goal to be, my suggestion for you to be tonight would be for you to think of your priorities and write them down 1 through 10, and then in the order of which they are important to you. So if career is your number one, then write that down as number one. If family and friends are number two, faith is number one. You have to determine exactly what that is and what that looks like for you. I can't tell you what's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but I will tell you that after about 3, it probably starts to get a little bit difficult. But once you've got that down in place, you can really concentrate more on what your goals are. Because honestly, if your top goal for 2011 is to lose 50 pounds, but your priorities are to make sure that you spend a lot of time with your friends and family, and if that means having Sunday pasta dinner at grandma's house every single week, you need to rethink about that, or you need to figure out how that's going to work with your priorities. If career is the most important for you, and yet you find that you're leaving work at 5 o'clock every day to take care of your house, then you have to relook at your priorities. Either your priorities maybe are backwards, not backwards, but are written backwards, where you really actually need to put your home life before your career, or your goals have to change a little bit in order to reflect your priorities. Because the reason I tell you this is I've learned from Chalene Johnson's trainings and her personal growth trainings that if it's not in line, then your soul isn't in line. And it's like you're not at peace inside, because what you say that you're working for in your goals is, if it's not in line with what you really believe is important in your priorities, then you're going to always have that sick feeling in your stomach, and it's not going to go away until things are aligned. So my suggestion again for tonight is take a look at the priorities, get them down on paper, really think about that, and I think that'll help you kind of line up what you want your goals to be for 2011.